Hello, this is an introduction to SMP1 on the Online-SMP network. I'm Dreams, the owner of the server. First, the boring stuff, the rules. No hacking, including X-ray, because we don't like cheaters. No stealing, and it's really not necessary because if you ask people, usually just give stuff away. No griefing, because who wants to lose their base and their stuff? We really don't want that. Pranks are allowed, but remember, griefing is never a prank. And if the prank person needs help cleaning it up, you help. If you use Litematica, please turn off angel blocks and easy placement, since most servers this is considered cheating. If you need help, just ask, since players on here are both helpful and friendly. And now to the things that makes this server a bit special from others. We start with crafting and other recipes and what you can do. This is the recipe for the elytra, just in case you really don't want to go to the end and search end cities. Then we do a lot to protect the environment, like make blocks useful. You can take ordinary stone blocks through the stone cutter and get cobblestone. You can use your crafting table or in-game crafting grid to convert cobble into gravel. Of course, you can do a stack at a time, and the same gravel to sand. Makes it easy to make concrete, for instance. Then we got a enchantment called hammer. You can get that by either enchanting through an enchanting table or get the book through a villager. Hammer 1 creates a 1x2 hole like this. Hammer 2 creates a plus sign. And hammer 3, which is the one I mainly use, creates a 3x3 hole. Then if we take the different blocks here with the stone cutter, we could go and make all sorts of different blocks. If you want to, you can craft the mini blocks directly through the stone cutter. Then we can take, for instance, slabs, make it back into blocks. We can use the stone cutter with stairs, if you got extra of those, and turn them back into these blocks. That works also on different stone types. Let's put this aside. This is the hammer 3 enchantment. Budding amethysts. We find those quite often. You can place them and you can silk touch them, so you can make your own farm that way. Oh, and while we are at the barrel is the same size as a double chest. The same goes for the ender chest. Dirt. Let's start with that. If you use dirt and put it into a cauldron, it converts it into mud blocks. An easy way to obtain mud. Paper, string and iron. Makes it possible with this recipe to make name tags. Dye, shulker shells, chest. You can craft shulkers directly in your inventory. 2 shells, a chest, and if you want to dye it, you can do that directly as well. Let's put these things away. Nether portals. We got the costume nether portals, so you can make everything from the smaller sized, up to 128 by 128 blocks. And you decide the shape. Then we get to enchantments. If you look at this pickaxe, for instance, Fortune 6, Efficiency 5, there is no limit on how much you can put on. The same goes for if you want more than one protection type on your armor, like this one. That's very nice when you go to the Nether. Then we get to a fun part. Let's take this with me as well. You can upgrade items using, like a wooden pickaxe, you can turn into a stone pickaxe. A stone you can turn into an iron. Iron into diamond. Iron gear into diamond. And of course you can upgrade up to netherite without having the smithing template. Back again. Coal and charcoal you can use to make black dye. This is what we call vegan dye. Then we get sand, coral, and blocks. That can be blocks of raw gold, raw copper, raw iron, whatever you find or make. And then you can take, for instance, block of raw copper in a blast furnace, and it gives you the copper blocks. You can take the sand in the blast furnace for a bit quicker smelting time and get glass. Or you can take coral blocks, any coral block, smelt up in a blast furnace, and you get sponges. So that's a bit more. Then we get to all of this. Back to the crafting table. If you have wool, of course I misplaced, you can re-dye it. The same goes for carpets, concrete powder, terracotta, and ordinary concrete as well. That way you also save on blocks, so you don't have to go and keep stocking up on all sorts of different colors and whatnot. On my island, and I will leave the coordinates at spawn, I offer people to get free shulker shells. Because I built a farm. Of course you can go and get your own if you like, or you can come here because yeah, farm is working quite well. In the Nether, we've already made it so that we connect to the Nether roof and we can go to each other's bases from here. I will set up a portal once you make a location so you get access to all the other players. This server is quite powerful, so if you decide to build big farms, and I do mean big farms, that's not really an issue because it can handle it. Like I'm building an iron farm right now. I got a sheep farm down here, nice size, all the different sheeps. And if you want to create a trading hall, of course you can have all the villagers you want. It's not really an issue. And don't mind the sounds, because my villagers look a bit different and sound a bit different, because that's how I prefer to play. Other than that, I guess that's about what we have on the server thus far. And that's not entirely right. I've saved the best for last. Let's just sleep first. One thing we have that not many others have is the heaven dimension. I would advise to fly up diagonally, otherwise you might get stuck in some blocks. As soon as you reach above, I believe 360, it changes and we are up here. Let's look at the map. Where haven't I been? If I fly straight north, let's try and get a fresh village. Because these villages are so much fun to deal with. There's usually a lot. Let's try again. I've got a feeling that we're gonna see one very soon. As you can see on the others, they are quite close. Here comes a village. You can be lucky to find very good stuff in here. Let's see if we are lucky. We are not lucky here. There's some emeralds. That's alright. I know just about what villages are good. Let's take Rocket 1. What kind of buildings? Like farm village. You can find golden apples. You can find golden carrots and all sorts of good stuff. If we go to a, let's see, what do we have? That's where I started. Here's a little house. Terracotta, bricks, diorite, whatnot. If you need building blocks, you can find things like gold, iron, all sorts of blocks, emeralds scattered around. And it would be a good idea if I chose an entrance. You got a chance to finding netherite, anti-gravity arrows and whatnot. I would advise though, when you go up here, to set a waypoint so you can find your way back. But just enjoy it up here. It's always sunny, there's no mobs. And you gotta love that you can find all sorts, sea lanterns, whatnot, if you really need it. And well, this is quite rare, calcite, but there's plenty of it up here. And the entire island is made out of quartz. And this is where my hammer comes in nicely. But yeah, if you talk to Bamsy or me about joining, this is the server to join. I've been Dreams, I'm out of here. Bye.